Today we're dealing with anger and forgiveness, another opportunity to remove a vice in our lives and take a hold of the life-giving virtue, as our book has talked about, replacing deadly vices with life-giving virtues. When I read the book in this chapter, this quote stuck out to me. Whatever your default posture toward conflict is, it was, or most likely is, shaped by the home you grew up in. This challenged me to dig deeper than just the surface, and I really wanted to understand why my thinking at times didn't line up with the scriptures. And in my life patterns, I could easily see where I would go toward the flesh, where it wanted me to go in the conflict, rather than where the Spirit of God was asking me to go. I was raised in a home with a lot of conflict and anger, so that was an easy option. And it became easy to justify wrong responses because I could always excuse the behavior since the other person brought the conflict on me. So loud outbursts and dysfunctions were a part of my thinking instead of forgiveness, peace, and healthy resolutions. So this left me with a feeling empty and unable to truly experience the love of God. When I gave my life to Christ at the age of 18, the Lord challenged me to go back home and forgive my dad. And when God first challenged me, I immediately reacted with, "No, Lord, I remember all that He has said to me and all that He's done to me in anger, and I have learned to tolerate Him, but forgive Him, I don't think so." But the Lord kept convicting me, and He showed me how much He had forgiven me and how much hurt my dad carried from his past, as well as caused him to hurt others as well. So when I chose to forgive my dad, it was the beginning of the spiritual release and growth for me. I was able to lay aside the vengeful heart and understand the love of God. Now, also in the book, you'll find these words: "It is true, when hurt and offense go unchecked, they can turn into deep-seated anger. One person's sin can easily cause another person to sin if it's not dealt with. My anger and unforgiveness was a direct sin because of my father's sin. But I had to deal with it so that I could walk in freedom and let forgiveness become a part of my life." So as you discuss this chapter on anger and forgiveness, I want to encourage you, go deeper than the surface. Be open to God's healing for your thoughts and letting His grace flow into areas that then will turn into life-giving virtues. Here are the 3 questions that this area asks at the end of the chapter. I want to encourage you to use them as a good jumping-off point. Number 1, how do you struggle with anger in your life? 2, having read this chapter, do you think you might be angrier than you previously thought? Are you carrying around emotional baggage and bitterness that you honestly hadn't realized was there? And 3, how can you take a step in growing in forgiveness today? Enjoy your discussion time together.